The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. This is Dave Canyon, your one and only solo podcast host. You ready to dumb it down? All right, let's do it. It is Monday, September 19th, 7:03 p.m. I'm in a parking lot in Kingston, New York, outside a Starbucks coffee cafe. Why does it say coffee? We know it's coffee. Should just say Starbucks. I predict they will get rid of the word coffee one day. But let's discuss that with my good friend and the previous owner of what is now my new iPhone 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you, live and recorded, Bobby Masi.
We're live and re-recorded.
Re-recorded?
We're re-recording.
Well,
This is
recording.
Yes.
And it's
a 6S. It's an iPhone 6S.
I keep on forgetting to say that.
Yes.
S4.
6S.
S4. What does the S stand for?
Who knows?
Okay.
Who cares?
Okay. I care. I like to know.
It's
my listeners.
Sitting in Kingston.
Oh, that's what it stands for? Sitting in Kingston?
Yeah.
See, this is Dumbing It Down with Dave, so we explain everything.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So, hello, Dum-Dums. Welcome to the Dumbcast. I'm here with some of the dumbest people in the world, one of the dumbest people in the world, and I say that as in term of endearment. If he would listen to my podcast, he would know. But, hello, Bobby. Welcome to my Honda Fit.
Yeah, I know. I love how you broke out. We couldn't do it in your Kia.
No.
I get on the show and you bring out the Honda. I feel so special.
It's an upgrade.
That's what the S stands for.
Special. There you go. The running joke in this podcast will be what the S stands for.
Yes.
All right. So right now, S is for sitting in a car.
Yes.
The Honda Fit. Yeah. So we are in the Honda Fit. The Kia is actually being repaired and detailed for those of you who listen to the show. Oh, by the way, this is episode 81. If I actually do publish this, if I'm satisfied, S is for satisfied. If I'm satisfied with the quality of the show, it'll be uploaded, and this will be episode 81, and I will title it right now, My Buddy Bobby. I think you actually have a show after you, I think.
Yeah. When we first started talking again,
Okay, so that's good. It's good that you brought that up because a recurring theme in this show are my friends who are no longer my friends.
Yeah.
My Facebook. Okay, on my pinky finger, friends who are no longer my friends. My Facebook friends. My friends in quotations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then acquaintances.
Yeah.
All right. And family.
And I know this is a 30-minute podcast, Dave, but I have a flight I got to catch. So
Do you really?
No.
A flight down the New York State Thruway to go home. So Bobby and I, so we talked for years, right? And then there was a period where we didn't talk.
Yeah.
All right. We can talk about that if you want.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to go back there?
Want to.
I think our fans would be, because you're the first person to be on my show with me, not the first guest I've ever had. That would be Matt Neff, episode 79. My friend Matt. I think it's episode 79. I don't even know now. But he's the first guest I ever had live recorded. But now you're my first friend or former friend who's a friend again. Well, okay. Do you think we were former friends at one point? Were you even aware of anything that was going on in my head?
I came to meet you in Kingston. Friendship doesn't get any more defined than that.
Okay.
So for someone to drive to Kingston on purpose
from Newburgh
to hang out.
Well, wait a minute. You're coming from Newburgh.
Yes.
So this is not an upgrade?
This is not an upgrade.
Kingston?
No way.
Do you have a Starbucks?
We have a couple Starbucks, Dave.
Oh, really?
We're very.
Do you have a 99?
We're very cosmopolitan in Newburgh.
You're not even really are you in Newburgh or New Windsor?
I'm in New Windsor. Splicing hairs.
You're like outside the ghetto.
Are you in Saugerties or Catskills? Well, it's part of the Catskills, so.
Yeah. All right, so we both have something to hide. We both have secrets.
That's why we're in Kingston.
Okay.
When you have shit to hide, you come to Kingston.
Do you really?
It's the slogan of the town.
Yeah. Is that the sign you saw
yes,
when you made the wrong turn at the roundabout?
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be funny. We should do that. We should if we had a real production crew, I would say go make a sign. Yeah. Say when you have something to hide, welcome to Kingston. Put it up.
Welcome to Kingston. Your secret's safe here.
There you go.
It's the roundabout too. The roundabout is like the point poor man retarded version of European Vacation where they're just driving around.
Right.
Look, kids, Big Ben. Look, kids, the Thruway. Look,
So you had a
kids,
tough
the
time with the
Thruway.
roundabout. You had a tough time with the roundabout?
I kept wanting to veering off the road.
Okay. All right. So so you don't want to talk about that. You feel like
why would I talk
because
about that?
it's real stuff. It's dumbing it down. We're dumbing it down. We're dumbing down our
I
relationship.
just sold you this phone, this beautiful.
You want to just
iPhone.
celebrate this beautiful
Yes,
iPhone
so
6S.
you want to celebrate it by talking about the time
Let's
we had
rehash it.
problems.
Wouldn't it be great if we talked about it and then had like a new argument? I threw you out, or you just stormed out. And I'm taking my phone, and here's your money back.
You're like
Mark Maron.
No,
Greg Fitzsimmons.
No, they have talent.
Boo. This. Okay, go ahead.
You're like Billy Bats. You're like
nobody. First of all, nobody knows that reference is lost.
No one knows Billy Bats.
And that's why it's funny.
And the guy that played Billy Bats really played him. Died.
What?
Frank Vincent. Frank Vincent died the other day.
What are you talking about?
The actor Frank Vincent. Anyway.
Okay.
So we're on a.
From the Sopranos.
Yes.
What do you mean he played
Goodfellas? He played Billy Bats in Goodfellas.
Oh, there was a character called Billy Bats in Goodfellas?
That's the real.
I don't know that.
That's the character. Yes, he was in the bar. He's telling Joe Pesci to go get his shine box. Remember, Shoe Shine Tommy?
No, I don't. No,
you should see this guy. This guy, he make your fucking feet look like mirrors. Go get your shine box.
By the way,
Tommy.
that's the first F-bomb on this show ever dropped.
Oh.
So try not to drop that.
We're in
Otherwise, I
Kingston.
got to mark it explicit. I don't want to mark it explicit.
We're in Kingston.
I understand. That doesn't make a difference.
The Kingston is explicit.
All right, yeah. But wait a minute. So the guy that we know,
Yes, Frank Vincent.
but the guy we know is Billy Bats. Is
The
his
guy
name?
we know, no, that's his stage name. He was trying to be very, very original.
Oh, no.
So he took a famous character from
I didn't know that.
one of the most beloved gangster movies of all time, and he ruined it.
I had no idea.
He ruined it forever.
That's the first I'm hearing about
You
this.
never knew that?
No, I don't pay attention to these things.
Maybe he really is the Billy Bats. Maybe Billy Bats.
Maybe Frank Vincent and the model this thing after him?
Maybe.
I doubt it.
Maybe, yeah, no, because he had really nice shoes.
Yeah, he was dressed. He had talent.
He had talent.
He had talent. All right.
Yeah.
So enough of that guy, that loser comedian. And that's okay. All right. So the guy we just mentioned, folks. I'm not going to repeat his name. Is the guy who is from California or whatever, and then it came to the Catskill. Bobby, my guest here, Bobby Masi, comedian, stand-up comedian, booked the show, and I hosted the show, and it was my last show. Was that my last show or one of my last shows?
That was definitely your
The
last
bowling
show.
alley shows weren't the last one.
No, this was. Yeah.
This was the last
You
one.
didn't come out of retirement.
Not yet. But now I'm off on Saturday nights.
you're-
S is for Saturday nights.
That's right. You're the Floyd Mayweather of comedians.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm going to come back out again one day.
That's right.
I'm going to come out swinging.
I'm going to go up against comedians that don't do comedy.
Yes. What?
Well, because Conor McGregor.
I know. That's funny. I'm going to do comedians that don't do comedy. All right, so here we are. So I just bought an iPhone from Bobby, an iPhone 6S, and I'm very impressed with it. And I hope the sound is good. It looks like the sound is good. We're using the Spreaker mobile recording app, not to be confused with the desktop app, but it's the same app basically.
Yeah.
And I'd say so, Bob. It's great. It's great to do this.
It is great. I love it because the phone is on the dashboard right now.
On a sock.
And we're sitting in a Starbucks parking lot.
Right.
And we're yelling at the dashboard.
We're yelling.
Yes.
We're yelling. Anybody walks by.
So people look, it looks like two special needs adults in Kingston are arguing with themselves.
With the dashboard.
Because we're looking at the dashboard while yelling. We're not even looking at each other right now.
No, we can't.
We're eyeballing the phone.
We can't turn our heads because we're afraid that we'll lose sound.
This is living large, folks. This is the life.
I'm waiting for it. Oh, should I shut off the lights? I should do that.
So now we're two people yelling in the dark.
In the dark. Now, I'm waiting for somebody to walk by and point at us.
Yeah, exactly. Hey. Oh my God.
Or maybe the Kingston police will come and say, "We have a report of two people yelling at the dashboard."
Well, it's 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock our time, there's nobody on duty now.
Oh, that's right.
This is Kingston.
Except for the UPS guy.
They let the migrant workers from Home Depot come over and solve all the crimes.
Wow.
Well, that's why they're still
here.
here.
So you dropped an F-bomb, and you just used the illegal, what'd you call
I said
them?
migrant workers. I didn't say illegal aliens.
Oh, migrant,
we know they're all documented. They just don't have their documents with them.
Right. Left them at
they
home.
Left them,
Where's that?
They left them in the back of the pickup truck on the way over the Rio Grande.
Oh, my God. Wow. All right, here we go.
This is Kingston, folks. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is like we're one step. We're in Kingston. It's one exit from oblivion.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Wait.
I live there. I live there.
The next exit's Saugerties.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's where I live.
All right, or we're 2 exits from Oblivion.
Boy, this is big talk from a New Windsorite.
Oh, I know.
A New Burgundy.
Yeah, I moved from Vegas to do this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, I always let you slide on all that. You're the guy that went from here to Colorado to Vegas and back. You came back.
I'm a jet
to Shawshank.
setter. Yeah, I'm a jet setter. Yeah,
You're a jet setter?
Yeah, I'm a jet setter.
All right.
What do you call it? I'm institutionalized.
I think gypsy snake oil salesman is more.
Yes,
is more like.
I'm institutionalized.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
I can't survive on the outside.
All right. So we met.
Hey, listen. You need something in Kingston.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Okay. Yeah, was his name Red? What's his name?
Well, Red was the guy from there. Yeah,
right.
No.
Okay,
I know a guy.
So we met. You know how many years ago we met?
6.5 years.
And we met at where? Do you remember?
Duke's Last
No.
Laugh. Oh no, we met at CB's Hideaway.
We met at
we met at
that
Charlie's
time,
Pub.
Yeah,
Charlie's Pub.
Charlie's Pub was a little bar in Central Valley, New York.
Yeah.
And you guys had just started. So this is interesting. It might be interesting for non-comedians and for just listeners who have no idea of the area that we're in. But for the comedians who might be listening, this will be interesting because once upon a time, let's say it was 6 years ago. Would you say 6?
Yeah, 6 years.
Okay. So
2011-ish.
Okay. Yeah. So I had been part of the Albany, New York area comedian scene, and I think I had already been in that scene for about 6 months to a year.
Yes.
What are you laughing at? Because
the comedy scene is. We're part of the comedy scene. It's like saying, well, if you were a block away, you would have been part of the crime scene.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's what it's like.
It is.
You draw chalk around the victim.
You feel violated.
You're right. So if you took a lot of the audience members did.
Some of those people should have been locked up.
Right. So if you took a piece of chalk and you drew it around Albany, but it was Albany. It was a little bit of Amsterdam, Schenectady, Troy, whatever. Troy, but anyway, if you go to Google Maps, look up Albany and draw a little 20-mile, 30-mile radius around it, that was the scene. But people were coming from Massachusetts, the Berkshires. Yeah. So there was a whole bunch. So I was part of that scene, and then I was hosting Duke's. Duke's Last Laugh, whatever. And we went to the Log Tavern, and there was another place.
We did a lot of bars, a lot of little places.
But I'm describing the Albany scene. Before there was a we, there was a me. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because what I'm trying to do is paint this universe that it was Albany. And then you guys, which I don't know how formed... What?
You need more colors to paint.
Yeah, I know. So you guys... down in Central Valley, which is what 142 mile marker is Albany. So you guys are at the Central Valley's at the 60. No, 60 is Newburgh.
It's like So it's a little bit further.
A little bit further. So it's really like 80. Wow, that's like 90 miles away.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay. So an hour and a half away is Central Valley, south of Albany. Straight like on the New York State
Freeway.
That
tells you dedication, man. We used to drive an hour and a half round trip to do 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Or 6 minutes, if that, if you're lucky.
So
I always ran the light.
But here's the But here's the thing. But nobody from Central Valley was coming up. Because you didn't know about it, because there wasn't any...
We didn't know there was
This is very early internet, right? There's no communication. It's really like a whole nother world. Think about it. It's how many years ago, early in the internet, and no smartphones.
Yep.
Facebook is not even whatever. What? What are you laughing at?
You didn't have a smartphone back 5 years ago.
No, 5 years ago I didn't have a smartphone.
Yeah, I know.
No, but 8 years ago, did you?
Yes.
Okay, good for you. You're a special person.
That's what I just told you.
Special.
I said it was only a couple years old, but it was 8 years old.
Okay, anyway. But there was a parallel universe going on.
Yes.
And I remember one of your buddies, you remember who? Used to call me all the time.
Yeah, Patrick Grable.
Patrick Grable, yeah. Comedian Patrick Grable would call me
Hello, everybody.
They don't know what he sounds like.
Yeah, this is how he sounds. Hey, everybody.
Oh, you're going to go on a Grable Jag? We don't have time for a Grable Jag. So, anyway, so he would call me and ask me questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? And then you guys opened up your open mic in Central Valley at Charlie's Pub. It was called Charlie's Pub. And the unique thing about Charlie's Pub, amongst other things, was that you guys had a sound system that was a karaoke sound system.
It rivaled most Fisher-Price instruments.
Megaphones, those megaphones that you get.
Yeah.
Boop, with the button. Boop.
Yeah. I think we even used Fisher-Price music for the intros.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And you had a full bar going on at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So you're yelling into a microphone, trying to get your jokes over.
Yeah.
which is how I met you, which is how I saw you for the first time. I remember distinctly, almost more I remember meeting you than I do meeting my wife 30 years ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, not to her, but it's funny to me. Because I remember...
Like that open mic, it was funny to us.
Yeah, it was funny to us. So the pub was crowded a lot during open mic night, and you guys would go on stage and yell into a Fisher-Price microphone trying to get your jokes over.
Of course.
But then I came down. After I helped out a little bit, I did a set or whatever I did, and then you guys every so often would come up to Albany.
Yeah, like the week you came down.
Yeah.
You didn't perform. You hung out.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't perform that night. A bunch of other comics. You came down with 2 or 3 comics, and like a week later, I get a call from Patrick Gray. Oh no, I got a call from Paul Byrne. Paul said, a couple of us are going to Albany. Do you want to go? And that's when I came up. That's when I first really met you, was when you were hosting at Duke's in Glenmont, just south of Albany.
Really?
That's exactly.
I have a totally different memory.
Oh, okay.
I have a total memory that I came down one of your first nights of Charlie's Pub, and I was talking to whoever I was talking to, Brett Eidman or something. I don't know who I was talking to. And then you came up on stage, and and I said I just turned my head to the left, because I didn't know any of the lineup. There was a long, 50. You had, like I said, it was a parallel universe.
15
whatever you had, all these different names from all different parts of your area, whether it was Central Valley, Sullivan County, Orange County, Putnam, Southern Dutchess, Rockland. Yeah, that was a whole nother universe. And we had not mixed the two universes. It's kind of like Justice League and Marvel. It's like, you got your X-Men, we have our Justice League, whatever.
Exactly.
I meant DC and Marvel. So, that's what it was like to me.
I like how you called us Marvel.
What did I?
Because the Marvel movies are way better than the DC.
Oh, okay, you're a Marvel. Go ahead.
Thank
you're Marvel.
Thank you.
Thank you. So
okay, so.
And that's it. I remember seeing you, and I see you yelling into the microphone, and the crowd was like, bah, 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 bah. And I turned, and I was paying attention to you. Somebody was trying to talk to me about something. I'm just telling you, this is how we started. I turned and said, no, I want to listen to this guy. You look like a comedian. You still look like a comedian. Wow. Which is another way of saying you look funny. Yeah. And
which is why we're on radio.
Yeah. And I heard some of your jokes, and I said, hey, this guy's got something going on. And then after you got off the set, I think I looked for you, and I said that you did a good job and you should do more.
I think you did. Yeah, you definitely complimented all the guys.
That were good.
That were good. which was like 2 of us.
Do you remember my move? Do you remember what? Did I ever tell you? Like, if you weren't good, what would I say?
No, I don't remember.
Right. If you were good, if you were just plain out good, I would come out and say, hey, man, you were good. You should do more. Whatever. I'd be very open and easy. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, man, what did you think of my set? I would say, what did you think of your set? That was my go-to answer. What did you think of your set? How do you think you did? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that prevented me from giving an honest answer. At the same time, I'm helping them by letting them explore their deficiencies.
That would be like if someone came up to the car right now and said, what are you doing in the lot? And you would say, well, what do you think we're doing in the slot right now?
That would be my answer. What do you think we're doing in the slot right now?
With our lights off.
What are 2 guys sitting in a car yelling at the dashboard? What does that represent to you? Anyway, so that was it. We had 2 parallel universes. And then once I came down there and you guys came up here to Albany, that really opened up a lot of floodgates.
It did.
A lot of floodgates.
It did, because now that I knew where it was, the other guys didn't want to travel as much. So I started coming up on my own when I knew the mics were going on.
There's a lot of, it's a lot of miles.
Because what happens when you start out doing shows, if they do the mics right, you don't do it weekly. Because new guys are not that good.
Right.
You need some time to write and redo it.
Right.
And then you come back 2 weeks later.
Right.
And then now you had time to think about it a little bit more. But then you started finding shows opposite your show. So we'd have it on a Thursday or a Wednesday, and then the following Saturday was your show, and then we come back on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it was.
Right.
And the traveling, I mean, that's what we did, man. You gotta find the mics.
Right. Did you ever do the alley in Lenox?
No.
I did the alley in Lenox.
Mass.
Lenox, Mass, and that was a drive. And
I think we did. I think we did it once. Is that the one that was under, like, in a basement? There was one in a basement of a bar. I went up with you once. It was like really dark red lighting.
Oh no! That was another. It was one of my comebacks.
That was Pittsfield. That was Pittsfield, Mass.
Lee Lennox.
Tom.
Yeah, Tomatilla Lewis.
Tomatilla did it.
Crudgies or Smudgies or
whatever.
Some horrible name. Yeah. But yeah, I remember that place. That red was red. It was like
if there's anything that can really top off a horrible night of comedy, it's a 4-hour drive home.
Yeah, right. That was great. Well, I drove to New Haven for Joker's Wild. I drove out there. 2 or 3 times I drove out there. I drove to Cranford, New Jersey. We did that a couple times.
Yeah.
And this is all from Saugerty, so I don't know the mileage offhand, but that's what I did a lot. Then I would encourage. I also actually one night I drove up to New Hampshire. I drove all the way to New Hampshire, coming off a day's work. Went to New Hampshire, came back, and did another day's work.
Wow!
I barely got any sleep. That was crazy. And I drove with like 2 black guys and 2 other guys. It was like a car packed driving to New Hampshire.
You were the cop.
Yeah, I was the cop, and they were in the back. Well, listen, it's not racist if you say two black guys because it was interesting. It's
inclusive.
It was. Yeah, I was like, hey,
and
we're going to go to New Hampshire with 2 black guys in the car.
Wow, all right.
Yeah,
it sounds a little scary.
I thought it was. Yeah,
it sounds scary.
But I knew they not because they were black guys, because having people in the car that troopers go, hey, what are 5 guys doing in the car? Like, oh yeah, we're going to an open mic.
What are you 5 guys?
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you 5 guys doing in a Kia Rio?
Yeah, no, that was the Chrysler. I had a Chrysler Cirrus, a Chrysler Cirrus or something like that. Cirrus. So, oh yeah, we're just going to an open mic. Oh really? From where? Oh, we're coming from Albany. Right. You're coming all the way from Albany to New Hampshire to do an open mic? Sure. That makes sense, doesn't it?
I thought a big night in the beginning was doing a show in Central Valley.
Yeah.
Then driving to Albany an hour and a half, doing a show in the very beginning of the show, getting off stage, driving an hour and a half back. So literally just did 3 hours to do 6 minutes.
Right.
An hour and a half back to do another 6 minutes, and then an hour and a half south to do another 6 minutes, and getting home at 3 a.m. That was a successful night.
That was a good night. Yeah.
Three shows in one night.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the guys in New York City are doing, 8 to 12 sets a night, because they're hitting 6 clubs and they're just bouncing from train to train.
Is that Mike's?
Shows? No,
okay.
Those guys are doing shows.
So, all right, so that was it. So I remember that. That was that's a good conversation. This is what it was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And what was interesting for me, because
there was no community, there was no comedy, even
not at that time.
Even in the areas, there was only like 2 shows in the area. There was only 1 show by me. So then,
well, you guys had that show in Orange County in Middletown.
That was a one-off show.
No, the one that you had to bring your bringer. It was a bringer. The Manhattan Comedy Club.
I never did that.
Oh, that was horrible. I never did it either.
It was a nice club, but it was picture the worst mini mall next to an Ashley Furniture, a laundromat, a Chinese restaurant, and a Big Lots.
Right.
Well, you know what fits there? A comedy club.
Right.
So that's what they did.
Right.
And there was a guy that ran clubs in New York City, and he was bringing up like Dave Attell and Greg Fitzsimmons and who else? He had Artie Lang. He had Nick DiPaolo. He had bona fide headliners, and in the most one of the most downtrodden areas in Orange County, and it was just awful.
But the mic that they had was a bringer. It was a bringer
mic, which is like, it's like saying we're going to torture you, but you have to pay us to torture you.
Right.
It's like paid torture. We're going to waterboard you, but we need $20.
Yeah, if you'd like us to torture you, please pay us. Yeah, so you had to bring like 7 people, and I remember contacting that angry guy that ran it. That you don't talk about that angry little comedian that had a little secret that he never let out. What I didn't want to talk about it, but anyway.
I like how you bring that. Yeah. You can't preface that and then not bring it up.
Well, because I don't.
There's an angry little guy with a secret. Let's not say.
Okay.
He's not listening to this. Come on.
Well, I don't remember his name, but he was closeted. He was
gay.
Gay guy, but he was angry. He was angry. He was anti-Semitic,
which is really the opposite of gay.
That's right. Totally opposite of gay. Right. He was very angry.
He is the angriest anti-gay guy.
And he was anti-Semitic.
And he was,
He was anti-Semitic, too.
He's anti-Semitic and he's gay. That's a conflicted individual.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's bad.
How does he live with himself?
He doesn't like one set of people, but he wants respect for his set of people. Sounds like everybody.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if he wanted. I don't know what he wanted. But anyway, but I remember contacting him and saying, hey, you got this open mic. I'd like to come down. And at that time, I was hosting Duke. So I said, that carries a little weight. He was like, all right, you got to bring 7 people. I go, oh, that's not going to happen. That's not gonna happen.
Now you got me running through a list of names I know in the area, trying to figure out who's anti-Semitic.
Oh, he's gone. I haven't seen him on Facebook or anything like that. Anyway, but he's not worth our time. But what was interesting about all these mics, and I would tell people that were new to mics, that were new to Dukes or whatever, I said, when you go to these mics, pay attention to the material that they're doing, because it's interesting. Like at that time, Michael Jackson was alive.
Yeah.
And it was like, everybody was always making jokes about him and his situation. But it's funny when you go to Albany mics every Saturday.
He was anti-Semitic too.
Yeah, of course. But
yeah, everybody was going.
Everybody was doing Michael Jackson jokes in Albany. But when you take a 2.5-hour trip to New Haven, and then you see the other universe, the Connecticut universe of the comedy world you live in, and you see, there's the fat guy, there's the fat girl, there's the black guy, there's the good-looking woman, there's the older one, there's the younger one, there's the redhead, there's Ginger, it's like so interesting. And then the jokes, the open mic jokes can be very similar, especially the Michael Jackson references or OJ references,
the news, anything.
The news, and it was interesting because then it shines a light on you where you go, oh, I'm not that unique. What's the matter? Too cold?
Yeah.
Okay, here. We'll just do that.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I get that.
So, I found that very interesting to see parallel universes, to see who was I. Like, it's like when you go to Cheers, you see Norm and you see Cliff and you see whatever's behind the Sam and Woody, and then you go to another bar and you go, oh, wow, that's interesting. It's like. There's the other bars, Sam. There's the other bars, Cliff. So it's just interesting. I found that.
Well, I always liked going to when I would go to Vegas before I moved there. I would always like going to the other side of town where it was like an all black bar.
Oh wow!
And they would just the fact that I even asked if I could go on in the lineup.
Oh yeah.
In front of like a Def Jam, everybody's
what's up?
Everybody's like, yo, what's up, man? And then in front of like an all black audience, and then I come in there and I'm dressed up. I'm wearing a graphic T-shirt with a blazer and pressed jeans and like my Converse, my white Converse. And then I go up there and I start talking about being fat and white.
Oh yeah, they like that.
Oh, they loved it. It was great because I was a commodity. I was different,
right,
compared to everybody else that was going up there talking about how much they hated America.
Right. And so now you know.
Not everybody. Hates America.
Right. So now you know how it might felt for a black comedian to come to Albany.
Yes.
And we are there's 15, 20 white guys and girls, whatever. And you're like the only one or two black guys. It's different.
Exactly.
Totally, and the audience is always
a couple times I'd show up at a bar show, and I would just do a show on Vegas Boulevard, and I wore a suit. And I walked in, and it was like an all-black bar, and I walked in with like a really nice suit on, and it's like, all right, guys, I'm not your parole officer. So my name's Bobby, and
wow.
It's okay. Come on, all right. Listen, it's humor. Jesus Christ.
What?
We're in a Starbucks.
Right. Well, I didn't say nothing. You just criticized yourself.
Can we go through the drive-through and save myself from this part?
No, you're fine.
From everybody hating me.
No, what's there to hate? You're doing your thing.
I always like the fish out of water. I always like being different. I didn't want to go up. The worst thing for a fat guy to have to go on a lineup is to see 4 other fat guys on the lineup.
Right.
Because it's going to be like, oh Jesus.
That's why you can't do the low-hanging fruit. You got to be clever, unique. And do something else. That's why women can fall easily into their dating joke,
hating men,
and blah blah blah, sex, and guys
exactly.
Although guys seem to have an unlimited amount of dick jokes they can do.
Yeah, especially if you're Irish.
Really? Irish?
Well, you don't want to point out the obvious. I mean,
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, what are you doing these days in stand-up? What's your story?
Oh, well, I'm killing it because I'm clearly sitting here in a Honda Fit right now.
Oh, come on.
It's a nice
What do you do? What's been going on? Since you've been back from Vegas, what have you been doing? Tell everybody what you've been doing.
What have I been working? I've been trying to pay off debt.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of debt. Just working, man. Regrouping. I did a lot of shows last year and the year before, but I wasn't able to develop a lot of new material. Now I'm in a writing phase.
Right. And who are you doing this with?
I'm writing SOS letters to people to get me out of here.
Oh, please.
I'm doing this. Where am I doing? I'm doing a class in the city.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, you want me to talk about that?
A little bit.
Why don't we talk about the class then? It would have saved all of this awkwardness.
I'm trying to be a natural interviewer. And you're a natural interviewee. We go pick up. Oh yeah, I'm doing this thing with Rick. No?
Rick. I'm doing a writing class. That's a performance class. In the city
at the Comedy Cellar.
At the Comedy Cellar
with Rick Chrome.
Rick Chrome.
Yeah, that's not too hard to do.
No, it's not.
You know what? In this light, which we don't have any right now,
yeah.
You're starting to look like Michael Moore as he falls asleep during one of his
Michael Moore.
films.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds lovely. He and I have so much in common.
You have Michael Moore's chin right now, looking like.
Well, if I was a millionaire like him, I'd probably have 3 of his chins.
There you go.
But he eats a lot, and he's awful.
Right. So there you go. That's what you're doing.
I'm working on.
You're working on your stuff. You're back.
Yeah,
you're back from Vegas. You made the transition. You transitioned from here to Colorado to Vegas to back here
to New York.
Yeah.
For now.
That's a lot.
And then I'll transition again.
How many years was this whole thing? This move around the country?
Almost
2 years?
Almost 4 years.
Was it really 4?
Yeah, I met her 4 years ago, 2013.
Crazy lady.
Yeah, crazy.
I'll call her crazy lady.
That's okay. You can.
Wow. What a ride it's been for you.
Especially when I was talking to you on the way out.
I know. Well, we don't have time for that because we're getting on 30 minutes, and I think you're toast right now.
I am.
We overate. We had coffee at Starbucks. Then we overate at the diner. Some cheeseburgers. No, you didn't have it. What did you have?
I had a coffee. Then we went to AT&T to take care of your phone.
Oh yeah, that was exhausting.
Thank
you, Victor. Good job, Victor.
Yeah, Victor Gonda from the Kingston.
Was that his last name? Gonda?
Gonda, yeah.
Oh, really?
Ganda.
Nice guy from Africa, from Zimbabwe.
From Zimbabwe.
I've never met a Zimbabwean.
I know. The last time I saw a Zimbabwean was that movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Really?
No.
Wait a minute. Are you certain that movie was based in Zimbabwe?
It was a guy that I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, see, I trust you. You say something, I believe you.
I know because I'm so behind it.
You know all the mafia movie references.
I definitely do.
When you brought The Gods Must Be Crazy from 82?
86, 85.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's a great reference.
I was like 9.
He gets hit in the head with a Coke bottle or something.
Yeah, that's right.
It lands in front of him. The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Yeah.
And he has to go to the end of the earth to get rid of this Coke bottle. What a crazy premise. Can you imagine trying to get financing for that?
They made 2 movies. They made a sequel to that.
I don't think that couldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
And they used that fast forward trick to be funny. Remember there was that jungle
when he's running.
Yeah, and there was a sexy blonde. Yeah. And the warden guy wanted to get with the sexy blonde.
Jeez, this guy drank too much coffee. Look at the way he's walking. Holy shit.
No, I think he.
He was walking.
Okay, so somebody just walked by a car, and it looks like instead of going into there, it looks like he was holding back a toilet problem.
Yeah,
but he's not walking towards the restaurant to get rid of the problem.
He was walking.
He
to
came
his car,
out.
Yeah.
He walked to his car.
Yeah,
I'm going to do this at home.
Maybe he's about to do a podcast.
He's about to do a potty. That's what he's about to do.
A podcast.
Wow. There he goes. Yeah, he's getting in his car. He's leaving.
So comedy is going great.
It's going good enough.
It's good. It's good when you're.
There's 49 other states where they don't have a Comedy Cellar and they don't have a Rick Chrome, who's a good friend of ours.
Yeah,
he's a brilliant comedian. He's a great writer, and
we went and supported his show.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time.
He's very supportive of new comedians.
Yeah, he's very helpful. And you're getting. He's like an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, he's like an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
exactly. And what I like about him is that he doesn't BS a lot. And He's right to the point. He's about develop. You know, when most people do classes, they're thinking that this guy's going to tell me what to say to be funny.
Right. He doesn't do that.
He doesn't do that. He tries to help you develop what you're trying to say.
Right.
To give you ideas to work future bits on. Right. Not to tell you what to say or what is funny, but to help develop and be clearer with your stage presence.
He's big on editing.
He's big on editing. He's big on being behind what you're saying.
Right, selling it, right.
Selling it. Well, not just selling it, but just being like, if you're going to say something, have something behind it.
Right.
There's nothing worse than talking to someone that's not behind what they're saying.
Right, exactly.
Welcome to Starbucks. How may I help you?
Right. Okay, so a lot of comedians are like that.
You are not going to help
me. A lot of comedians are like that.
A lot of comedians.
Welcome to Starbucks.
Or they say something like... They say something like it's a question, like they're asking the audience for
That's
approval.
big.
Yeah, he hates that.
No questions. You tell people.
And it's like...
So he would say, don't say, hey, how about that Trump? He wouldn't say, don't say that. He would say, Trump, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask, how about that Trump?
Yeah, or if you're going to say something pretty, not vulgar, but you're going to say something pretty, like, to spark a reaction. If you're going to say something that sparks a reaction, say it like you mean it. Say it like it's really there.
Right.
Like, really... You don't have to rush the words or you talk under your.
Right. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. That might sound basic.
But it really is a skill. It's a practiced, honed skill.
Yeah. So you'll go to the class. You'll do 5 minutes or whatever on stage, whatever it is, and
we'll work it out for 10 or 15 minutes,
which is great for a comedian.
Yeah.
It's like having
one. Yeah.
It's like having 8 of your best friends who are not best friends, but 8 talented comedians.
It's like
give you a different point of view.
The best way to think about it is if you're into sports, it's like going to it's like going to spring training for batting practice, and you're getting like the best hitters. Like Mickey Mantle is going to help you like fix your swing so you can hit the ball hard.
Right, there you go.
He's not telling you how to do it. He's showing you the mechanics.
Giving you the tools.
He's giving you the mechanics to perform it.
Right.
And you're still hitting the ball out of the park. You're still going,
Right, he'll tell you if you're dropping your elbow. There you go.
Yeah, he'll tell you if you're dropping your elbow, or you're not keeping your eye on the ball.
Too much weight on your back foot, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or you have to do some sit-ups.
So typically, right. That's another thing. No, but actually, Rick Crow wouldn't tell you to do sit-ups.
No, he would say...
He would tell you you're putting too much weight on your back foot and all that other stuff.
Yeah, he'd tell you you're not putting too much weight on your back foot and you're wheezing a little bit.
Yeah. So typical 2 men in a car doing a podcast have to come up with a sports reference to quantify whatever they're doing.
Yeah. We're in Kingston, the epicenter of sports.
Right. So, well, people run a lot here from...
This used to be the capital of New York State.
Kingston, New York.
Kingston,
Very good.
New York,
Hey, nice little historic fact you brought in there.
Yes.
Wow, you went from the gods must be crazy to historic Kingston.
First. And then they came out with AA meetings, and then they decided that it was a big mistake.
Right. Well, actually, they burnt Kingston down.
They burnt Kingston.
First
they rebuilt it down,
which is a true story.
It is true. They
burnt down Kingston.
They burnt it down.
And this is before we had bars and stuff like that. This is before we had all those bars.
This is before they had fire laws.
Yeah, all that stuff. So we'll end on that note. For the people who don't know comedy, comedy classes are often frowned upon.
Yes.
All right? And some comedians are embarrassed, which you might have been
in the
5
beginning,
minutes ago.
I was very self-conscious about it.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's not a normal thing, and it's still, that. But when I get there and I sit down, I realize this guy. You go to people that are overweight go to Weight Watchers.
Right.
And they sit there and they tell you, you know what? Instead of eating this, or when you feel this way, do this.
Right.
When you go to a comedy class with Rick, when you're doing his course,
specifically this class,
it's more of a training. It's more like training than it is actually school. Because like I said, hitting the baseball is something you can't do. You don't just go to baseball camp and then stop playing. You got to go out there and you got to do it every day, and you keep it going. And it's.
Well, how about this? Anybody can swing a bat, and almost anybody can swing a bat and get lucky and hit the ball.
Yeah.
But maybe if the sports analogy that we're making is but Rick's going to tell you, hey, try to hit it to right field. Because that's your strength. Don't hit it to left field, which is not swinging away. Do the opposite field. If you're a lefty, do this. If you're a righty, do that. Yeah. He sees these subtleties in you and helps you, get stronger in your swing will be your swing.
He's also and he's looking past what you're trying to say. He's trying to figure out where the source is, so you can. It's called finding your voice.
You got to find your voice.
You got to find your voice through performance.
Right. I think here's another analogy, quick sports analogy. Yeah. Tennis. All right. So you got a net in the middle. You got a ball that bounces on its own. Whatever you throw, it bounces. Yeah. You got 2 rackets, and they're pretty sizable rackets. So if in theory, you hit the ball over the net, and then the other person returns it, over the net, and then it bounces once, and you return it. In theory, pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever gone out and played tennis?
Professionally? No.
No, I'm just saying, for fun. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to play tennis. And that's why you take tennis lessons. You go, why would you need a tennis lesson?
I got a better analogy.
Oh, go ahead. You're going to out analogy me?
Yes, we're going to out analogy.
I'm trying to end the show.
It's an analogy
I had a great analogy. Oh, it's analogy off?
Analogy off.
Oh, jeez.
Right,
okay.
We're sitting next to a Home Depot.
Oh, boy.
All right?
Okay.
I could go buy the materials.
Right.
I could buy the materials, and I could pick up 5 guys outside to build me a deck.
Right.
Instead, I could go online, research how to build a deck, and then I could always build decks for the rest of my life.
Wow. You totally out-analogized me.
No.
You win.
You know,
Winner.
Exactly.
You feel better now?
Exactly. No, not really.
You're just so exhausted.
I'm tired.
All right.
We're carb crashing.
All right. Well, I don't know how many minutes this was. Oh, wow. We went over a little bit. Okay.
All right.
So the new 30-minute podcast is now 40 minutes.
I went over a little bit. That sounds like me on the scale every day.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
I went over a little bit.
Today.
I went over a little bit.
Bobby, how you doing with the weight?
Did you eat?
Did you eat
healthy
right
today? Yeah, I did. But I ate a little too much.
I went over a little bit.
I went over a little bit. It's why'd the cop pull you over? I went over the line a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
That's where everybody gets into trouble. Just going over a little bit.
Yes.
That's all it takes.
Yes.
All right, Bobby, that was good.
It was fun.
It was fun?
Yeah, it was informative for I don't know who, but it was informative.
A little compelling? And then entertaining.
It was compelling. It was. I hope it was entertaining.
It's podcasting on ice.
Do you think it was entertaining? Do you think it was good?
For us? Yeah.
At our level?
At our level, it was fantastic. If everybody out there is exhausted and carved out, overcarved, they're loving this.
Go to Starbucks.
Yeah. And
sit in the parking lot.
Sit in the parking lot and do a podcast.
Yeah, and take a breather. We didn't do a breather.
No, we should have probably for about 20 minutes in the middle. Why, you want to do a breather? You can't breathe right now.
Yes.
You want to do a breather?
Yes.
Really?
No.
You want to do a breather? Through the nose. All right, ready? Let's do it. All right, let's do it. Well, we're going to end the show in a breather. Yeah. Warm up. Because I didn't warm up once and I had snot in my nose. It was disgusting. All right, here we go. All right, folks, we're going to do one breather, then we're going to say goodbye.
All right.
Ready? There's going to be 3 breaths, deep in through the nose, out through the mouth, and successively deeper of a breath as we go on. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Oh, God. Okay. This is going to be horrible. All right, ready, folks? You ready?
Ready?
All right, ready? Breath number 1. In through the nose. Go.
Oh, that was a good breath.
Oh,
that was a good breather.
Wait a minute. Whew. Where did that come from?
What happened to you?
I snotted.
You snotted.
Oh, man.
You made me laugh at the same time.
Oh, it was horrible.
That was a good breather, guys.
Wait a minute, but how did that happen? I tested it. Man. Okay, I'm doing it again. Do over.
Oh, boy.
Time out. Oh, my God.
You should have a visor on.
Did you see that?
I did not look.
I inhaled it right into my mouth, and I spit into my hand, and I rubbed it on my pants. Oh, it was gross.
Well, you have to have a hobby.
That's not your answer? You have to have a hobby?
You really should. You should not wear shorts next time.
All right, listen, we gotta get going because this is gonna cut us off at 45 minutes. Yes. We're at 42.
Right. Oh boy,
we went over a little. All right, here we go. Ready? 3 deep breaths. Ready? Go. How'd that feel? 1.
It felt good.
Oh yeah.
That's
all
good.
right. All right. Don't pass out on me.
2.
Ready? 2. Here we go.
Like we're doing cocaine.
Pot.
Oh.
What kind of cocaine do you breathe in heavy for?
Like you're snorting.
Oh no, you would marijuana. You hold it.
Yeah.
In.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Now this is the big marijuana.
This is the big. This is the
big
bong. This is the bong.
The big
clearing
bong. Yes.
Breather.
Okay, here we go.
All
Ready?
Ready?
Big one. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Go. Oh, that one hurt.
That was actually good.
That was a rib expander right there.
That was a rib expander?
All right, Bobby. I'm not going to shake your hand because I got snot all over.
Yeah, I don't want to shake your hand now.
Just to shake your hands.
And I'm not touching the phone ever again.
All right. Oh, what's this message I have on my phone?
Oh, you got a message. You went over?
No.
Time is almost up.
I guess. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Upgrade your account to get more time.
Oh, wow. All right. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in for Dumbing It Down with Dave. Episode 81, I think this was. My buddy Bobby. I have no other. Breathing with Bobby, maybe. I don't know.
Breathing with Bobby.
Breathing with Bobby in a Honda Fit.
I still think carb crashing with Bobby.
Carb crashing with Bobby.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll pick that one. You'll find out as soon as I post it. I have no idea. All right, folks. Goodbye. Good day. Good night. Good luck. Good riddance. Godspeed and great skills. See you soon. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Oh, we didn't say how to contact you.
That's all right.
Okay, bye.